podcasts on WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com.
They came from the game table, dice bags in hand.
We have one brain that we share between us.
To talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original, then basic, then one they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D second edition podcast ever.
Oh, yeah, I got so bored I had to go start another podcast. What?
Yeah, there exactly. Was your dog new bar mitzvah or something? Hi, folks. THACO's Hammer. It's Glen.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. So THACO's Hammer splat book number, Brian?
56.
56. We're going to start off with a bang, I guess. We've got DM. This is DM Glenn, DM Brian to my left here.
Hey, folks, what's going on?
DM Full On Gamer right in front of me.
Booyah, Gamer Nation. Welcome to 2013. Where's Night City and where's my flying cars?
and DM Corey to my right.
It's January 13th, and I'm still friggin' hungover. What's up, everybody?
So I'm surrounded. Actually, it's the 14th, but that's who's counting?
That's how drunk I was.
Can you say alcohol poisoning? I bet Corey can.
I poisoned that alcohol with my bloodstream like a boss.
Well, let's go into hits and crits.
What are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing tonight? The burlesque, Louie's Paradise, miserable and lonely and stupid. What am I, crazy or something? I got something good here. What am I hanging around with you guys for?
Hits and crits.
Hits and crits! Okay, guys, it's been a long, long holiday. What have we been doing? Brian, what's up?
Oh, let's see. Gaming-wise, I had the proverbial wild hair about the first week in December, once we took our unannounced hiatus because, well, Corey had to work, I had to work, all that whole thing. But what I was doing was, I have a big, I think like 4-inch, 3-ring binder full of characters.
Okay, sorry. Mine is mine.
Yeah, hey. Don't you even try.
It wasn't me this time.
Issues on me, Mr. Hallstrom.
It wasn't me.
If you got that problem, that is exactly what it is. Your problem. Anyway.
Oh, now it's my problem. Fine.
Yeah, it's my problem. I've got twice that problem. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. What I've been doing is, you guys know, in my game, I decided to make a PDF with fillable fields of a second edition character sheet, and all you guys have your characters on that. I said, you know what? I'm tired of having to go to my bookshelf, which is only 6 feet away from me, and get the binder out and look at character and all that kind of stuff. So I've been putting all my characters on these PDF sheets for the last month.
Digital for the last month. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I'm a data entry specialist. Make your saving throw now.
And so,
save or die. Wrong show.
Yeah, wrong show.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've been a busy little bee.
Yeah, something like that.
You should put a copy of that second edition character sheet up on OSR Gaming.
I can do that. I can certainly do that. Remind me after the show, and I will take care of it tonight.
Hound him, folks.
I'd love a copy.
Hound him. Hey, Full-On, what's up? I hear you got a new show.
Yes, indeedy. I have been roped into contributing to the Lost Holocron Podcast, your only source of web goodness for OCR and RCR, D20 Star Wars role-playing.
Vince is on there, and knowing Vince, he excludes the D6.
We're just trying to stick we're just trying to stick to the D20, not the Saga, not the D6, not the Fantasy Flight. We're trying to stick to the package. He's probably going to lean a little bit more towards the RCR just because of a comment we made on the very first show with, why did they make this change from RCR to OCR? Well, everybody had all these things that they had issues with in the original edition. And it became errata, and it got codified, and hence the revised rules. Wow!
In a much better package, I might add.
Yeah, but the D6 one is the good one.
Oh, good. I covered that.
I can see D6 Star Wars is going to be the rules cyclopedia of this show. I understand. Okay.
D6 Star Wars, whenever I play it, I have real bad epileptic flashbacks of playing champions, and then I have algebra-like seizures. There's too many D6
I didn't say that, Glenn. That wasn't me. I didn't say that.
I don't take offense to that.
There's
the fact
no such thing as too much dice.
I don't have a trigonometry degree. I can't play freaking champions. I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about champions. I'm talking about D6 Star Wars.
I understand. I like D6 Star Wars, but whenever I play it, I have flashbacks of champions because of all the D6 things.
But
yeah, that's my only problem with it. But
yeah.
You
have a problem with D6 Star Wars. Does that mean also you have a problem with D6 Ghostbusters? Now that I would have a problem with.
Because he never has the opportunity to spend a force point while filing a Death Star super laser. So the bucket of dice syndrome doesn't strike that bad.
I know. What are you going to do? But Corey, what you been up to anyway? What you been doing?
Well, I decided to grow a beard and take a long trip around the world. No,
and do Dos Equis commercials.
Yeah. For a little while in December, I put all the D&D stuff up on the shelf and started focusing on the comic books. Got some of my artwork out. Just recently got published by a company by the name of Sika Punch.
All right.
They have a website. They have a website, SikaPunch.com. They do a quarterly trade paperback. So I'll be in the new quarter issue, which will be issue 4, and I got talking to by someone for a certain magazine. And I think you know which magazine I'm talking about.
I think I do.
Oh, we're talking Gygax magazine?
Why, yes, we are.
Okay. I decided just to let the cat out of the bag.
Ooh, double ding.
So I got tapped to do some artwork in the second issue. We'll see what I get. No. Then around January 2nd.
You're welcome.
Thanks. I appreciate you for putting me on there. I do appreciate you putting my name in the hat.
Fortunately, I told him I've had all this happen before he found out Elmore. They're trying to get Elmore.
And everybody just quit, which was funny.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, by the way, we're going to let you go into a boxing camp. Oh, yeah? Cool. Who am I boxing? Well, some normal people. Oh, yeah. And you're going to practice with, like, Sphinx and Ali and Tyson. Really?
Well, yeah, go for it, man.
So I'm going to work real hard for a whole month on a piece of artwork, and they're going to put it next to Jeff Easley's and be like, did Corey put that pencil up his butt and squat over the paper and just over, or what?
To have mixed art styles in a book, I like that in the variety of some of the older books where it wasn't all one style. Ooh, it's all Lockwood art. Where's the funny stuff? Put some of that back in. It's all cool. It works.
More Holloway, yeah.
We got Jeff Easley for the adults, and for the children who use crayons, we have Corey's artwork over here on the left.
But he doesn't have a complex about his art style compared to the quote-unquote masters, folks. No, not at all.
No,
but then around January 2nd, I grabbed all my D&D stuff, and I decided to dive back in. So I'm working on my first supplement for my campaign world, putting book 2 out. So
you're not running 2 games as you have been.
Oh yeah, that's still going on. I killed 6 people. I almost had a total party wipe. All we have is the half elf running back to town looking for reinforcements.
I love those days.
Oh, you can revisit those days in Corey's game, let me tell you.
It's going to be funny if he ever gets caught by the constables because he's got a bag full of, like, index fingers from everybody.
Oh, God. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Going hardcore. Okay.
That's the way you roll, man. That's it. All right, Corey. Yeah.
That's why they call him Hard Corey.
Yeah. No, that's his girlfriend calls him. Anyway.
Hey, what have I been doing? I've got a few more things from Half Price Books. Had I was sicker than a dog during the holidays, so I didn't do much gaming. My basic game is still going on. I have also been tapped for Gygax magazine. I will have one panel cartoon in the first issue. Huzzah, huzzah! With more to come, I hope. Thank you very much. And I've also been doing some things with, well, I don't want to say it that way, but I'm doing some artwork for Thor Cammer.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. You gotta watch what you say, Glenn.
I like to say I'm doing commission pieces.
Thank you. I just
even that sounds remotely perverted.
Yeah. You know, nearly I could get away with that, but hey, it's Thorky. So
yeah. You're slipping something to Thorky on the side. Got it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh. I didn't need that image. Anyway.
I've also been doing trading cards of portraits of characters and monsters and things that I hope to fill up and give away at the next convention or where.
I gotta say, Glenn, those cards look really freaking fantastic, man. I can't wait to see a whole set of those done.
Thank you. I don't know what comprises a set, but I'll just keep going. It's great publicity and useful in the game. You were saying, Brian?
No, I was just going to say a complete set would probably be like 100. I was just thinking back in the day of the Elmore set and the Easley set and the Parkinson set.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I still have a full set of Elmore cards.
Are you planning on throwing out a whole set of cards based on our live play group?
Hey, there's an idea.
There's a live play group?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that one missing?
Yeah.
Trust me, I do miss it.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, the AP podcast will continue to happen this year.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I've got session 3. I've got session 3 in the can. I just have to upload it. I have to go through it one more time to make sure all my edits are correct because I don't want to make that kind of mistake. Putting that up on the internets and, stuff that shouldn't be for public consumption are included. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. All right. Got an update. Let's go to some emails.
Okay. Let's do that.
I think we have a voicemail, don't we?
Yes, we do. We've got one from our constant contributor who we are going to get on the show at some point. DM Kojo, isn't he on one of our sister podcasts, now that I think about it?
I think he may have guested on there once or something. Maybe RFI, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I like Kojo. He asks good questions.
Hail, Kojo!
Yeah.
All right.
He asks really good questions, yes.
Yes, he does.
All right.
Okay,
Why don't you play that bad boy there?
Yes, I will. I'm setting it up right now. Forgive me, I'm a little rusty. It's been, let's see, 7 weeks since we podcast.
Today we used to podcast all night long. It was great.
We used to do 2 episodes at a time.
I'm also going to be playing Dungeon Slayers Wednesday over Google+. So.
Dungeon Slayers.
It's a German role-playing game that you can get for free on the web. And I'm just DungeonSlayers.net, and I'm playing it just to see how it runs, see how it compares to D&D.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey everybody, this is DM Kojo calling in with a comment about your Dragon Mountain reviews. I have the box set. I've never used the box set. It's in pristine condition. And after your review, I just don't know that I'm going to ever use it. I'll probably hold on to it for collectability. But, good review. Very in-depth. I appreciated that. I just don't think it fits in with the kind of adventures I like to run. But good job nonetheless on that. I do have a request. I just recently picked up a box set of the Spelljammer core rules, and although I was slightly familiar with them before, I'd never owned the box set till now, and I want to implement this, I think, into my campaign at a later time, but you guys haven't really devoted a whole lot of time to Spelljammer that I'm aware of in reviews and such, so I'd love to hear a show or just a segment on Spelljammer, what you guys think of it, how to implement it into the course of a regular campaign, things like that. So if you could do that for me at some time in the future, that would be great. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, Kojo. Thank you. Yeah, THACO's Hammer, killing campaigns since 2010.
Hey, keep it rocking there, Kojo. We'll try to we will give you as much coverage of Spelljammer as TSR did.
Oh, God.
Yes. Yes, Full On is right. They will give you as much coverage.
Yeah.
I will not.
Passing like ships in the night?
Yeah.
In the phlogiston?
Yes.
Well, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, one less Dragon Mountain campaign.
Well, you know.
Hey, if it's still pristine, now that we have the product placement out there for you, go for that eBay.
Yeah. Someone will buy it.
Sell it to DM Show enough. He'll buy it.
I'd still say crack it open and just cannibalize it for parts. There are so many parts. Even if you don't want to use the campaign, even if you use not one link, word, or setup of the campaign as written, if you just cannibalize it for all the maps and do your own, all the NPCs and throw them wherever the hell you want, you're going to enjoy the hell out of what's in there however you want to use it. So, come say, come sa.
Yeah. Same with Spelljammer, too. Every box set has something you can use in it. That's my philosophy, anyway.
Yes, I agree with you. The box set of Spelljammer makes an excellent monitor stand.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I'm sorry to say doorstop.
But you know, he has a point. We should be fair. Let's be fair, and let's give it, and let's go into it and give it as unbiased a review as we can. Yeah, let's do that. Just for sake of being, hey, it's second edition. We should cover it.
We
will. We will give it an honest coverage.
I mean,
I'll go make a couple of shows, and
for God's sake, we're going to do Dark Sun eventually. So
don't laugh. I made one.
I know you.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Dark Sun.
Red Steel's going to show up, didn't we?
Yeah, Red Steel.
We're going to see a little bit of that.
I'm going to have issues with that, but okay.
Of course, Birthright.
Yeah,
little some.
Birthright.
I'll sleep during that one.
You already did Birthright.
Don't forget, we got our Academy in the future too.
Then there's that.
Frisbee on there for the Birthright. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm. So, but yes, we will cover it. Rest assured.
Yeah. So
Thanks, Kojo.
Thanks, Kojo. What else we got in the mailbag there?
Okay, let's see. Going in chronological order, we have one from Roger Davenport.
Okay. Hi, Roger.
Okay. Hello, Roger. Welcome to the show.
Roger.
You're a voice we haven't heard before.
Yes, exactly. Okay, he said, hey guys, long-time listener, first-time mailer. God, how radio is that? Love the show and the variety of opinions expressed by the hosts, although I share views with Corey 8 times out of 10. See what happens there?
Corey, you have a minion. Huzzah!
Oh, you have one full on. Let's see. In my game, I allow magic users one extra first level spell per day that can only be filled by cantrip, detect magic, or read magic. With a duration of 1 hour per level of the caster, I still think that cantrip is a worthwhile spell, especially if the DM rewards role-playing and creativeness. Again, thanks for the great show. NPC Roger.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you and I are left out, Brian. Okay.
That's all right.
Well, that's all right. On Save or Die, Jim likes me because I sound like Bender, so...
Yeah, but Glenn, you're your own biggest fan.
That's right. That is right.
Yeah, no, Glenn, you sound like Bender when you've been on one.
Yes, it's true.
Anyway,
it's very true.
Anyway, about cantrips. Yes, I agree with that point. What was it again?
He uses an extra.
Yeah,
yes.
One extra slot just for the cantrip spell or detect.
And gives them some extra heat for it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is. I would encourage that any time in my game.
Right.
Especially if it's some of that core concept mage stuff that's like, okay, I'm a mage. I don't care what specialty mage you are. You know how to write magic. You know how to read magic. You know how to find magic.
Like I said,
it's part of your job.
You should be level 0 outside your spell slots.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, that's what I've done in my own game. It's like every mage that comes down the pike, they know how to read it. They know how to, they know,
these little things. I can turn on a light with my finger, that kind of thing,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little fire finger cantrip and kill a fire-breathing dragon with it. Yeah.
Well, if you have hairspray right up against it behind
you don't get to jump the Hedge Wizard Academy. You don't get to leave the High Tower of Sorcery. You don't get to leave the Academy of Magics unless you can pass a friggin' C grade. I know magic.
Or if your character's name is Rincewind, but that's a different story.
Okay, that went over my head.
Discworld.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why.
Okay. Well, who was that again?
Rincewind?
No, that was NPC Roger.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you. That was a
Thanks, Roger.
Yeah. What else we got, Brian? Anything else?
Okay, moving right along as that one goes in the archive.
Thank you for the good Rogering, Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Roger.
Okay. Oh, this one's fairly long, but okay. This one is from Alexander Ferdinas, and he actually gave me the phonetic pronunciation of it. Okay, he says, "Hey, THACO's Hammer Crew, Corey, Glenn, Brian." Yeah. And he says, "Corey, Glenn, Brian, full on, in no particular order and no exclusions are personal. I hope you've been well. I know I have, and I've prepared quite a robust email for you guys."
Oh.
Yeah. He says, "It's been a while since I last wrote, and thanks for answering all my questions, except I'm still waiting on hearing any painting tips Corey might have to share with us. I know personally..." What?
I see another segment we're going to have to create. Corey's painting tips.
Yeah, I can see it with like the
questions and Corey's painting tips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got to give Corey like the small afro and the beard.
I will totally be like, and then you put a little backpack over here. That's
because it's your world. Anyway,
it's a happy little.
Then we have Brian over here going, "Reading is a rainbow of rules."
And folks, this is why we need to do video. Some of our ideas just doesn't, audio just isn't enough for. Okay, to continue.
We're too big for audio.
Yeah, we're getting that way. Let's see. I know personally that the best way to start painting is to just do it, but I still understand that it can still seem daunting. Alex, you have no idea. I still struggle with that at times. After all, nobody wants to mess up a good-looking miniature. Also, if you have paint remover, you can never mess up.
Zing!
Thank you. Also, another perspective that could be world-shattering. Before, Corey mentioned on a previous show he used to use green stuff to add backpacks, torches, belts, and sacks to minis. I had never thought to add them. After all, a dwarf with an axe is a dwarf with an axe. I plan on doing my best to sculpt some adventuring gear for some of the Reaper miniatures. I hope you guys get that. My best friend and I did so damn hard our wallets are still crying. Really?
Nice.
Reaper miniatures are pretty inexpensive, actually.
Especially
for their quality, they are so sexy, awesome, and if you got into the Bones Kickstarter, you have more miniatures than you will know what to do with for pretty much the rest of your midlife.
Yeah,
I'm waiting
the
for
rest of your gaming career, yes. Yeah, I've got a bunch of Reaper miniatures on the upper shelf of my desk right now that I'm looking at.
I'm just waiting for my Cthulhu mini from the Bones. I can't wait.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. Next point he has.
It gets worse. I'm waiting for people to notice in my artwork. I forget to give people like scabbards for swords and backpacks and stuff.
Glenn, your art style is so unique that they even think.
If your game group said, "I don't need no scabbard. I told you in my game notes, I'm always weapon in hand." Okay, no scabbard.
That's why the lumpers all have hats I'm holding.
You know the best thing to do for people who say that weapon in hand? Go, okay, you're falling and there's a rope in front of you. I grab it with both hands. Sweet. Okay, where's your sword?
Exactly.
I sheathe my sword and then grab it with both hands. I've got time.
I did a parody of that one picture on the original Brown Book, Dungeons & Dragons, the guy on the horse with the sword. He's holding the sword and the reins in one hand. I'm going, how does he do that?
Very carefully, I would think.
Okay. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
Okay. Here's the next thing. For the longest time, my players would always have a few hiccups on level 1 while they set out to make a name for themselves, where whenever they came to the first cottage of a new town, they'd inevitably knock on the door to only be greeted by dogs barking, followed by the wife opening the door. More often than not, this social encounter ends up with a player being bitten by a hunting dog, and the household outraged at the behavior of the party, and every time I can hardly contain my laughter.
I like that.
Better than the other. That's better than the other 40% of adventure groups that would end up being bedded by the housewife. So hey, you're above the curve, man. Go for it.
Or embedded by the husband.
You just got to tell your players there that, groping the chest of the farm lady that answers the door is not an elven way of saying hello.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and
then there's
stand there with his arms out like this.
Then there's the other 20% who just kill everybody in the house. Let's not forget that.
Oh boy.
I call that House Hunters Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Yeah, Faerunian pickers. Yeah,
that's right. His house is empty. What are you doing to my house? Slice. Like I said, this house is empty.
Yeah.
Orc Dynasty.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so he asks, what's your favorite situation to throw your players into, even though you know they'll handle it poorly?
Well, it's not 4 giant spiders, I'll tell you right there.
Well, yeah, Glenn. Yeah. Yeah, I shared a story that's not fit for public consumption with Glenn earlier while we were waiting for Corey and Full On to
arrive. And I returned the favor, and I'm not going to talk about it either.
Yeah, we're just it involves bugbears, and we're just going to leave it at that. Yeah, we have those kind. Yeah, Corey understands you. We have those kind of players
later.
Yeah, this sounds good.
Yeah, I want to hear. I missed it.
We'll have that as an end-of-show discussion. But about to this guy's point, favorite thing that I like to throw people in that I know it's going to handle badly.
What's that?
I'm going to say anything involving a great hall or courtroom. That any kind of royal interaction, formal, they're going to bomb flat out.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally, the untouchable trio +1 at Hackmasters, friggin' heroes of Evernight, whatever it is they are. All those guys do it all the same way, badly.
Yeah, horribly. Yeah, you know what? I've yet to see. There's only been like one player in any game I've ever run where there's been that kind of a social gathering where PCs had the foresight to take the etiquette NWP. And even then, he is running back and forth between all of his friends, keeping them from screwing up and getting them tossed in the dungeon, which kind of makes it amusing.
That's kind of like my elf character in my basic games. Everybody's saying, "Oh, the something's wrong with the cleric. We always have healing by this guy." Well, I have a 10 wisdom, and healing goes. So it's like 50% that I'm going to screw this up.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, I'm a backup, but not much.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How about you, Brian?
Oh, well, I try not to do that because most of the time my players will find a way to screw up. I try to give them a neutral description of a social situation or a role-playing situation some way, and, even with veteran players who've been playing for 20 years plus, either they'll play their characters to where they'll screw it up accidentally on purpose, or, they'll end up messing it up because some of the players are just too used to just being in a hack and slash game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They just look at that room full of eeps and say, they're worth more dead. Let's do this.
Yeah. Mine, it's, okay, the group's in a tavern. Just have the guard come over for whatever reason. Nature will take its course.
Yeah, it's true.
Last time I ran 2E and they came over to talk to us. The thief decided if he couldn't pick the pocket of the captain of the guard, he was going to stab him in the shin, which he did. I'm backstabbing him down there.
Hell yeah. Sure you can punch.
Yeah, there are just some days where it's like, I just wish I just didn't DM that day. Because the players are just going to do something screwed up.
How about you,
in some way?
My new favorite one to put all of my party members in, because everybody in my party at some point, I have yet to have a group since I've been back from Hawaii in 2009. I have yet to have a group without a paladin in it. So my new favorite NPC is a Cambion demon who always is currently down in the dock wards of my major city as a smuggler. He's essentially Jeeves from Tony Shalhoub from Men in Black, but more sinister. And literally watching the paladin squirm because it's a Tanari, but it's not chaotic evil.
Oh, yeah,
I can't hear anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
That guy.
Dude, it's hilarious. They just sit there and they're chewing on the edge of their shield, and they're like, "Do you have a talking ticket that we don't know about?" I'm like, "What do you want to kill him for? He's not chaotic evil." And they're like, "I don't care. It's a Tanari." I'm like, "I know that." And everybody, I'm going to know alignment. Okay, he's chaotic neutral. What? Yep. That's not right. That's a Tanari. Exactly.
He's a crazy Tanari.
No. My party now knows. They're like, every time I'm like, all right, we're going down to see him, and they're like, oh god. And there's always there's always a guy playing the paladin. Like, why? What's everybody rolling their eyes for? It's pretty hilarious.
That'd be fun to see.
If it's not something social, then it's definitely something where, okay, they've got to do something on water. Whether it's kayaking, boating, going by sea.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's going to discover just exactly how much armor weighs and how fast they can get it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one to watch that's always enjoyable is taking my group to a brothel in town. Just seeing how far they're going to roleplay, because they know they get XP points from me when they roleplay well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Come on, let's roleplay. I'm a girl. I'm a hooker. And they're like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, well,
roleplay.
That's the funny part. I always found that amusing when that aspect of it, the romantic aspect of D&D, which, I'm sorry, 8 times out of 10, there's going to be a female fighter, a female silver dragon, something along those lines, where the party's going to, even a succubus for that matter, the party's going to run into one of those eventually, and yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that it's got to be done to levels that, will probably make the workie blush, but,
Half dragon Alu Fiend.
Yes. I'd have no problem with that.
Silver dragon based.
Yes.
That's the story waiting to be told.
Oh, yeah.
Brian, does he have any other questions?
Yes, actually he does.
Good.
Okay, and he continues again.
Yes.
I've recently acquired the Mulvey basic book and was shocked to find the basic rule of thumb for balancing encounters mirrored what I had pretty much been doing for all of my 2E games.
Right on.
Skip forward 31 years and now 5E, I know you're a 2E podcast, and don't worry, no addition words, just bear with me. Yeah, he wrote that in parentheses. Playtest rules are out, and I've been reading them over, but I quite like the advantage and disadvantage mechanic. Oh, God. Alexander, really? Whenever you roll a d20, if you have the advantage, you roll 2 and pick the highest result, and disadvantage is the same, except you take the lowest result. And I was thinking about using it in my games. Thus, my question is as written. Do you borrow, like a Kender, mechanics from any other game system, not just D&D for your 2E games?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. If it makes better sense than what I'm given, hell yes, I will take it. I will gank that in 5 seconds flat, no problem.
Yep. And other systems, you can make it fit. Just, spit and baling wire and a shoehorn, you can get it in there.
Yep.
Unless it's Champions.
I would there too.
Oh, Corey, stop poking the bear with a stick.
Come on.
Please.
It's been 2 months.
For example, I'm starting to get into the Savage Worlds game. There's a couple of things in here that I could probably put into D&D, like the bennies and things like that. But, I haven't really examined it, but they seem to be pretty solid. Any solid rule will fit in another. See, I'm the kind of guy that's like, if it don't fit, get a bigger hammer. So,
yeah.
And if it's a squishy rule, you can fold it and make it fit.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
And remember, whenever you're adding a rule into your D&D world, remember this one simple statement. It's your world, they deal with it.
That's right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and that's something that players seem to forget.
Okay.
This is my world.
I'm going to bring up 3D20 right now. Look what happened when they did a D20 version of Call of Cthulhu. Oh my God, how are they going to handle the sanity stat?
Easily.
Take the sanity stat from Chaosium, put it into D20. Boom! It's done.
It
works the same thing. It works the same way.
Yep.
Vitality wound points.
Exactly.
You can import that into pretty much any D20-ish based system from basic on up with little effort.
I've seen people take D&D rules and add in armor points, where your armor has a certain amount of points, which ablate damage.
Shield.
So, yeah.
Reduction, yes.
Spell points.
Yep.
Yeah.
You name it. You name it. People have tried it and it worked.
It either worked or it didn't. Or it worked to a certain point.
D&D, you want to say a lot of stuff about D&D.
There you go.
But you got to admit, it's one of the most damnedest robust systems that was ever invented.
It lasted for 30 years, of course. I think so.
They used to call, okay, I'm going to bring it up again. They used to call Champions the cockroach of RPGs. No, D&D is the cockroach of RPGs. You could bash it. Look how they tore it apart in 4th edition and still tearing it apart.
Yep.
Put it back together, and it works.
They tore apart 4 editions, grabbed some duct tape, and made you 5th edition, and it still works.
Yep.
More or less.
Sorta.
And people don't like it, tear it apart and put it back the way it was. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. There's no problem. Exactly. There's no problem with experimenting with something that you think would work really well. That's why they call it play testing.
Yep. Get a little buy-in from your players and maybe a minor amount of a little bit of diplomatic coordination to make sure they've bought into the idea and they're down with it, or just drop it on them unannounced and see what happens. You make it some result better than others.
Like an Acme safe.
Hey, I did
right on them.
I did a Hackmaster 20-point kicker on them without telling them.
Wow.
And they had the most amazing encounter.
Yeah. I'll bet they did.
Any rule, any stat will work. Except for that stupid comeliness one.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You've accepted psionics then.
Oh. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
Yeah.
He has another point.
Now that we preach to the choir, go ahead.
Yeah. Now that this has become a Greek chorus, yes. He says, my final point is more of a closing statement. Since I only run 2E, it often comes up that I introduce other friends to 2E when they've only played other editions. Okay, I had to struggle through that. I get what he's saying, though. Some have exclusively played 3E, most actually. A few have played 1E and 3E. The most recent player I introduced to 2E was quite upset that bows had a 2-1 firing rate, since drawing a longbow takes longer than swinging a sword, to which I countered the attack roll resembles a minute of parrying, blocking, dodging, feigning, etc., while you just have to pull back the bowstring. Well, I disagree, but okay. Later, when we actually got into combat and I went over weapon speeds, again, he looked at me and he said, oh, so 2E just perfectly represents bows. Okay, then. I know you don't like weapon speeds, Glenn, but I wouldn't roll without him. Keep running the great show. Maybe I'll start listening to your AP podcast, and I look forward to this Tux-dominated episode. DM Tux. P.S. P.S. I'm saving a few questions for later. Just remind me that I need to actually get around to sending.
Hey, Tux, send us the rest of your questions.
Exactly. Consider that your reminder, Tux.
Yeah, consider that.
This is a reminder.
That's hilarious.
Oh God, thank you. Here's how out of it I was over for being over the holidays. Is when he said bows. The first thing I thought was he's firing a Bose speaker at somebody.
Oh my God,
that's how out of it I've been.
In fact, yes.
Wow.
Wow. I just imagine someone grabbing that long speaker that they put in front of their flat screen TV. I got a long bows.
I got 2 short bows right here.
You can try my crossbows. It really sounds great.
No.
You started it. Corey.
Oh, I'm drawing a picture. It's going on.
You know what?
the
I keep my
website.
belt pouch.
My hand crossbows.
Oh yes.
Oh, man. Oh, we know this game too well. We can make puns like that. Anyway,
Rolling with eye bolt.
yeah. To his last point, just really quick. The way I've always envisioned a combat round, it's not a minute. It's more like 10 seconds, maybe 20, maybe. And that's the great equalizer to having a missile weapon that fires multiple shots per round, is the fact that the speed factor represents you actually aiming down your arm, lining up your target, and then shooting it. You don't try to do quick scopes if you can help it. Yeah, I used a COD reference.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
I've been watching way too many videos on YouTube. But yeah, quick shots with longbows is ill-advised, especially when you're trying to shoot that orc that's beating the crap out of your mage.
What if you have?
I'm going to borrow something from Arrow here. I'm going to say, don't offend the folks by Legaloosing.
That's true.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
remember that quote too.
Well,
Beautiful.
What if you've got fast draw?
Rock it then.
Yeah. Just means it drops your speed factor by like 4. So instead of a longbow is a speed factor of 7, now it's 3.
See, I know you were saying that the combat round was 10, but for some reason the number 6 seconds sticks in my head. I thought the combat round for per person was 6 seconds. I thought it was 6 seconds.
Well, my whole thing is that there are some who say it's a minute, some say it's 6 seconds, some say it's 10. And I'm like, doing some LARPing back in the day, I used to think it was a minute. Yeah.
Round, turn, and segment and stuff like that. And the floating definitions of each across editions. I'm a really big cyberpunky fan, so I kind of like the, a round is actually 5.4 seconds. that fast. 6 seconds, 10 seconds, that's kind of my feel for it. On the days that we were rolling a D20 for initiative, I could call it 20 seconds and be happy. Plus or minus, it's not too much, not too little, and it accounts for... You can do a whole lot in that kind of time, even with all the dodging, and it's not one blow is one strike.
And
but you don't have to sit there for a friggin' minute, because speaking as a guy who does, live fighting, SCA or pugil sticks or anything like that, when they say, okay, we're going to get down here, you're going to have a 2-minute bout with pugil sticks.
That's a long time.
Oh, God, you are friggin' wasted by the end of that. That's the military who's fit and trained to do this crap.
Yes.
Having a knockdown, drag out, and calling a whole round 2 minutes, that's just overcompensating. Calling it the 6 second thing, that actually really, 6 to 10 seconds really reflects more of a repartee exchange of blows.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
So we're right, it's 6 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, 6 to 10 seconds is fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that was our
That's our emails.
new constant emailer, Alexander Ferdinus.
Hi,
That's how his last name
Thank
is.
you, Alex.
Ferdinus. I will remember that.
So I
will.
guess that's it for the emails, and
Yes.
you can send in emails to us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Hey, we also got a number too. What is it?
405-806-0555.
Rocking the
What
number.
he said.
Yeah.
What he said.
Rocking the voicemail.
You mean we still have a show to do?
Yes, we do. We're having too much fun.
And next episode, more Kojo.
And this is what we have a gamer withdrawal. Yes, more!
Yeah.
It's like we're all stoked on sugar. I don't know what's going on.
It's
What we
been,
should
it's
do
just
is
been
save-
too long.
We should save all of DM Kojo's emails up and then just have a DM Kojo show where we have him on reading his own emails and we can answer them.
I like that idea.
Kind of like Letterman's top 10 list.
Yes.
Just have Kojo come on and read his own emails. Okay, read us the next one, Kojo. Answer.
Oh, that's brilliant. I like it.
I like it. But in the meantime, let's go to It's in the Book.
You ever go to school, stupid?
Yeah, and I come out the same way.
Is that your idea of an idea?
It's in the book.
It's in the book. Boy, I never thought we'd come out the other side there.
in the book?
We're going to do Hall of Heroes, and two of them actually, Hall of Heroes and Heroes Lore Book. One is in first edition, one is in second edition, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's get, what's the publication history?
You mean I have the first edition one?
Yeah. Even though it says on the cover.
Yeah, it says
edition.
on the cover second.
Yes, but it's all first edition stats. I was
Rip off. Rip off.
Well, all right.
That's it. I'm going to eBay right now.
To get serious for a moment, there was a bit of a gray area as they made the transition from first edition to second. And
called the Forgotten Realms, yes, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Forgotten Realms world was the tip of the spear on the bleeding edge of the change between first edition and second edition.
That sounds painful. Keep going.
Yeah. The first one that they put out was, of course, Hall of Heroes, and that stock number is 9252.
Okay. And who did?
And, usual suspects. You got, Scott Bowles doing the editing, all the contributors from all of the Forgotten Realms novels going up to, what year is this, 1989?
And then some.
Yeah, and then some.
And I think Mr. Ed is in there somewhere, isn't he?
Repeatedly.
Of the Green
Ned Dameron did all the interior artwork, and if you don't know who Ned Dameron is, he did the covers for all of the Dark Tower trilogy.
Yeah, and it's beautiful artwork. Mm-hmm. His representation of Chandra is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, did I mention every time that we have a battle in my basic game and we win, my DM goes... Just thought I'd mention that.
Okay, if you say so. But anyway, as I was saying...
You said Dark Tower, so...
I did not say Dark Tower.
He did.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that one just kind of fell flat.
Suck the air out of the room, folks, again. Sorry.
Anyway, they decided to make this supplement because I believe people since, the middle to late 80s, just before the change to second edition, they were clamoring for stats for all of their favorite heroes from the novels, like Alias, Elminster, of course, Drizzt, Adon, Midnight.
Dragonbait.
Yeah, Dragonbait.
Chandrel.
And that one little goth teenage guy who had his head in a noose saying, if you don't give me Drizzt stats, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, something like that.
We got Bruniar, Wolfgar, Olistrel, Catabree.
Mm-hmm.
Olive. Everybody likes a little halfling.
Mm-hmm. They have Oh, God.
Hoo-ha!
Wow. They have all of the, major characters up to that point, which is 1989. Then the second half of the book has the minor characters, such as Regis Rumblebelly, such as Artemis Entreri, such as
Adventuring Brotherhood
of the Zentarim.
What do you mean minor characters?
Yeah, minor.
These are awesome.
Well, yeah, the minor characters are usually the better, but yeah, they are minor for this, for this supplement. Malcor Harpel, as crazy as that family is, and they have them in, like I said, first edition style stats. They have the Knights of Mr. Nor in here, the Brotherhood of the Eight.
Company of the Eight,
Company of the Eight, exactly. And the picture for the Knights of Mr. Nor is just awesome, on its own merit.
I like Glenn sitting there in the middle with his little drinking horn.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be Glenn, wouldn't it? Anyway, but yeah, and it's really good information, especially for those who, and as an aside, I'm going to mention it briefly here. Over the last month, I've had these interesting discussions on Dragon's Foot about why people hate Forgotten Realms so much. And that discussion had gone on for it.
And it just annoys him so much?
Yeah.
Wait, why do people hate Forgotten Realms?
Huh?
Why do people hate Forgotten Realms?
Oh, for different reasons, but most of the haters are like, oh, it's all overpowered NPCs, it's all this, it's all overdeveloped, which I agree to a certain point, but at the same time. It was just ridiculousness. And then a couple of people came in and just cleared the room, so to speak, with their posts saying most of the people who hate Forgotten Realms are jealous Greyhawk fans.
Oh, I'll second that.
Yeah,
because your kid got sent to the room.
Yeah, it was great. Just came in and said that, and I'm like, you know what? He's absolutely right. Anyway, but like I said, this goes right up to the changeover to second edition, because they even have like a monk-style character in here, which is kind of funny because the class got a shoot in second.
Who? Wait, who?
Jinshin.
Oh, he is in here. That's right.
Yes.
My mistake. I've been corrected. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so this led to Heroes Lore book later on down the line.
Correct. Yeah, after the second edition campaign setting, a few years have passed in game. I think it's like like 7, 8, 9 years, something like that. And
first printing May 1996.
Oh, in game. Yeah, 7 years real time. But in game, I think it was like 7, 8, 9 years. So I guess it's like in line with real time.
So now we're actually in 2E stats.
Yes, now we're in second edition statistics, and all of the major, quote unquote, major NPCs.
So we're getting like Kel and Cyric and Midnight and all the way down the line.
Well, yeah, well,
along with revisiting all of the other ones,
Sure.
You get your alias again, you get the updated Danica and Catterley and all those.
So that's the book to have because it's got all the updates in it.
Correct, and everybody went up in level quite a bit. I mean,
Elminster, another 10 levels. Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, Elminster in Hall of Heroes is 26th level. Believe it or not. In Hall of Heroes is 26. I think he goes up to like 29. I think he went to 29th in Heroes Lore book. I had my Heroes Lore book, now I can't find it, of course. But, I mean, like Drizzt in Hall of Heroes was 10th level ranger. In Heroes Lore book, he's 15th.
16th. Yeah, but doesn't he have like 2 levels of barbarian or something? Something ridiculous.
Who? Drizzt?
Let me find him.
No.
Elminster, 29th level mage and Chosen of Mystra, and Drizzt, 16th level ranger.
Yeah, and they forget to neglect that he was more or less dual class, because when he was in the Underdark, he was like a 14th level fighter, or 15th. Yeah. So he changed over to ranger when he escaped the Underdark.
So let me turn to Corey. Corey,
that's a rule that you could convert in, as instead of multi-classing or dual-classing, have a class conversion for equivalency and just up and out.
Yep. Yeah, they take a
instead
test.
of having to try and start something new. Yeah, take a test and reclass. Man, I want to respec. I want to be a tank.
Oh my God! I did not just MMO up in here. I got it all.
Already did COD.
Yeah, that's true.
So Corey, how's the artwork on this other book, Heroes Lore book?
Good.
Isn't that
I don't have a copy. I just stated.
Oh God, hold on. I'll go get mine.
No, I got it. I got a digital copy, but I don't have a hardback copy.
Well, yeah, I was looking for my hardback copy and I can't find it.
Holding my hardback copy. It looks awesome. It's really good line art, really good. There's a whole color center section of basically a lot of the book plates and or pieces that were put into Dragon magazine and stuff like that. Really awesome book cover type things.
No six-fingered clerics or anything, right?
Six-fingered druids. That's my favorite picture. That's one of my favorite pictures ever.
Oh boy, yeah. There's a lot of bear poking going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I mean, with the updates, of course, it brings everything into line as to, where you're going to take your campaign. I mean, I took Danica, who in the Heroes Lore book is an 11th level fighter. I just made her a martial artist, which of course is my own class. And yeah, because she doesn't quite have the stats to be a monk. So, I made her a martial artist and called it good. And at some point, if I ever run a campaign in Forgotten Realms, you might run into her, because, she's busy trying to keep Catterley from destroying himself from recreating a Temple of Demir.
I just pulled up the PDF of the Heroes lore book. I just realized I had this book on my shelf. I've never opened it.
Let's hear the crack, Corey. Let's hear the crack.
No, I'm not running out there to go get it. But okay, the artwork is different. I got to say something for myself.
Yeah.
I personally, I love the background paper of the first edition Forgotten Realms books, where it looks like parchment. The stark white pages with the fancy knotwork on the top is a good look. I don't like it. I like the old school with the stonework on the top. That style of book is just so much better. I don't care if it's hard to read at times looking at some of the words, but I'm just looking at the difference of the two books, and I much better like the first edition version here, or the first printer of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was better. I like the font of the actual script.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it made it easier to read.
These, you guys use any of these in your game, All Heroes or Heroes Lore Book?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've used, I basically took Alias and Dragon Bait straight out of there and put them on character sheets for my own game, because I've got this major ambition about, this whole story arc involving a Sorial in my Amistara campaign who wants to go home.
Uh-huh.
And, if you get to the Forgotten Realms, then of course you gotta go to the Vale of the Sorials, and then, all kinds of other little adventures happen, including Coast of the Azure Bonds. But yeah.
I can hardly wait.
I also had fun with the last 20 pages. I had fun with the last 20 pages of the book, too, usually. We weren't so much using the NPC stats because we were trying to make our own heroes. We weren't necessarily tripping across the major NPCs. We never had that problem of, it's overpowered NPCs everywhere. Dude, we're the overpowered NPCs. Throw down. But the last 24 pages or so of, it has organizations, it has the Chosen of Mystra, it's got magic items, new spells,
and the Harpers
the Harpers show up, so you can start using them as an organization. So you had some fun bits started to come out with this book of expanding some of the accessibility for things that make the Forgotten Realms go,
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those things. See, that's the thing that kind of kills me about that whole argument about overpowered NPCs. It's like, let's see, Toril is a huge planet. It's an Earth. If you actually measured it out, it's like on the order of like Neptune or Uranus. It's an Earth. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a huge planet. I mean, it's at least a couple times the size of the Earth, which has these huge continents, which have millions of people spread out across them, but not so packed in. I mean, there are plenty of places where there are no major NPCs at all. I mean, Full On said it several episodes back. It's like there are places within the campaign world where you will never run into any of the quote-unquote heavy hitters.
Yep.
Until you become a heavy hitter yourself.
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead, Corey. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the book itself, I see a lot of spells in the back that I've used in the past out of the Wizard Spell Compendium or something, and I've seen these spells, and I'm like, I wonder where these came from. Obviously, I now found where they came from. I mean, Full On was right. There's some awesome spells back here that I don't see chromatic orb, but we'll leave that alone for now too. And,
boy, here we go. Here we go.
Corey, I want to specifically ask you now, not just for like this book, but I mean your campaigns in general. How often have your characters ran into like named NPCs or prominent ones like these?
Well, what I've done is a lot of my NPCs, what I'll do is I'll go in here to a book like this, and I'll grab stats for, like, Blackstaff.
Okay.
And I'll change the name, keeping the stats what they are. Bam, I have an NPC high-powered mage.
I'm Darkstick. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I can't say what I'm thinking. Anyway.
There's a mustache joke involved with that.
When I was playing in Forgotten Realms, I made sure not to bring in any of the big names.
Yeah.
And my opinion, there's no need. And I specifically picked areas where we would not be in. For example, when I played Forgotten Realms, not a single one of my campaigns took any place anywhere near the Sword Coast at all.
Right. Yeah,
I was down in Shar. I was down in the by the Sea of Dragons, away from where all the heavy hitters are.
Mm-hmm. That's why I put my Night Below campaign way down there, south of the Shar and out in that dragon, south of the Reach and all that. You know, out past the friggin' sunken dwarf friggin' pit and everything, where nobody's out there doing anything. You can have your own thing. But when we did run across them, it was, again, in the spirit of why they're there. You know, somebody like Mert the Moneylender is there to be a plot device.
Right,
so
right.
our DM used him for us as a plot device. And yes, people took loans from him. Foolish people took loans from him.
Yes, they were.
We occasionally had one or two interactions with Elminster. Why? Because it's the Forgotten Realms. You just can't get away with not having Elminster in there. But as Ed has said on many occasions, the mighty Greenwood himself, what level is Elminster? Whatever damn level you need him to be the GMPC of note.
Yep. Well, let me tell you, I find it interesting where I've seen dichotomies, and I've been involved with this, where take two different DMs who run the Forgotten Realms. You have a DM who's run the Forgotten Realms who's read the novels, and one who hasn't. I fall in the latter category, so I don't have as much problem using a few of the heavy hitters because I just read the description in the damn game book and play it as such. These other guys are the ones who are like peeing their pants over, oh, God, it's so overpowered in the Forgotten Realms, because they read the damn books. And they think to do justice to them, they have to, and they'll dominate because this, that, the other. No, they won't. Just use the damn swords.
In the defense of some of these other guys who might be having sandy nether regions, complaining, a lot of DMs, though, will use this book as a crutch. And they might be younger, fledgling DMs, but essentially using them, and I hate to say this because everybody who wrote these novels are going to kill me, but using them as the way that they use them in the novels. Some of these DMs have read the novels and they're like, oh, okay, so the PCs walk up, they found this giant world-shattering event, and Elminster comes in and cleans up. Well, obviously, if your DM's doing this, then as a player, you're going to be like, all these overpowered NPCs, of course, because your DM's using them incorrectly.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, it all comes down to these people who say, well, I hate it because of this. Well, what kind of DM are you playing with?
Yeah, I mean, what if you have a DM who lets the players get away with treating this book as a friggin' hit list?
Yeah, exactly.
Then there's that.
And we're going to go get us some gear. Yeah. There are people who do that.
Yes, there are.
Hell, what's his name? Elminster's scribe can mop the floor with these people.
It's just, I don't, if they're used
Mm-hmm.
incorrectly, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
You have that in any game system that's well populated with an established canon of people. That's why Dragonlance, great to read, bad to play, especially if you start throwing down with the NPCs. Star Wars, you do not need to ever see Darth Vader in your lifetime playing Star Wars.
If you do, you're going to die.
No, unless you're playing a stormtrooper and you're at attention. That's about the only time you'll see him walk by. But that was Vader. Shut up and stay in attention.
Just be quiet and wait to drag somebody out. Use that as our out. Somebody's going to go down. We're just going to clean up and drag him out.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway,
it's true.
These books are out there.
Yes.
I've seen at least one of them at half price.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they going for? There's someone. The original was like what, $15?
$10.95.
$10.95. Yeah,
Yep.
you can find them around that. But I'm not sure about eBay.
Mm-hmm.
They're on there.
Price for the Heroes Lore book is $20.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And
that did have a lot of information.
It's one of those books. If you're smart, get it close to that price. To what the price is or less. Don't get the eBay insanity.
eBay is set at $10 for the Hall of Heroes. Buy it now for $13, and there's another one up there that looks kind of used, and it is at $9.95.
Not bad.
So,
Go for it.
I mean, those kind of prices are great. I'm talking about if you're going to get the little brown books box, okay, go crazy.
Well, it's like the people who keep trying to list the Witchfire trilogy for $100 a book.
Right. Right.
It's a good story. It ain't that good.
Well, Falon, they put them out there for that price because there's someone dumb enough to pay that price.
Remember, a fool and his money are soon parted.
And these fools
W.C. Fields.
And these fools say, check out these books. Tell us about it at THACOsHammer@gmail.com. Let us move on to Rule 0.
One would think you've been doing this all your life.
We'll remember you said that.
I know. I'm sure you hate me just enough.
Rule 0.
Rule 0. We're going to talk about encumbrance on the
Briefly.
In the first edition rules.
Hey, Glenn.
Second. First printing, sorry.
Glenn, that's heavy.
Isn't it?
Oh.
Isn't it? It's on page, first printing is on page 76. And there's a little sidebar there about optional rule encumbrance along with a chart.
Yes.
A natural desire is to have your character own one of everything. Thus, equipped your character should just reach into his back and pull out any he wants to. Sadly, there are limits. Blah, blah, blah. Encumbrance is measured in pounds. To calculate encumbrance, simply total the pounds of gear carried by the creature or character. Add 5 pounds for clothing, if any is worn. Yeah, right. A total is compared to the carrying capacity of the creature. Determine the effects of the table below. The general, the more weight carried, the slower the movements. Yeah, I want to see a guy overpacked with this huge backpack, totally naked.
I will say, for an absolute fact, back in the days when I was doing commission work character sketches, somebody sent me a character sketch, all the specs and stats and info about the character, wonderful, but kept wondering why everybody was giving her strange looks every time she played. I had the answer for her in 30 seconds looking at the character sheet. You have no clothes listed on this witch's character sheet.
She was very popular.
Very popular witch, yes. So I gave her 2 character sketches, one as is and one modest.
You got any
Modest.
got any copies of those around?
Oh, jeez. Anyway.
Yeah, Thorky will want them.
Oh.
I posted them where I have my character sketches posted online. You can see them in my Google Folios.
Okay.
Gmail.
The table itself goes character strength, unencumbered, light, moderate, heavy, severe, and max. And I notice if you have 18 double-out strength, your max carried weight is 480.
480 pounds, exactly.
480.
So yes, you can literally carry 1 or 2 of your companions on your back if you have to.
And move a little bit.
A little, 10 feet per round.
You guys get lame too much. You guys ever use these?
I use them only in. I'm not a big stickler about it, to be honest. I mean, one of the things the 2E did that was like that really, aside from converting everything to pounds instead of coins from first edition.
Thank you.
Yeah. They also said, look, there is no way that 1 gold coin weighs 1.6 ounces. No, 100 coins is 1 pound.
Yeah.
Instead, they made that whole thing. But the only time it really comes into play is when the party comes across a lot of money and they're way out in the wilderness and they've got to get back and they don't have horses. That's the only time I use it.
Really?
Okay. Otherwise I'm like, okay, clothes, armor, weapons, gear, as long as you don't go crazy and overboard, I'm okay with it.
This is why people go nuts over bags of holding.
Yes. Bags of holding,
adventurer's best friend.
Haversack, pouches of holding,
portable holes,
coats of many things, portable holes, all the ways that you can have a little bit of extra dimensional space to, pull that hyperdimensional hammer out of your butt when you need it. It is always a benefit. Just be careful that you remember what you have when you go places.
Yes.
That's right.
Write down what you've got, where it is. Especially, there was, in the Forgotten Realms game I played, I was the person who held on to the treasure, which is funny because I was playing a ranger. Mm-hmm. I was the one who kept track of what we had, where it was, who had it, how much it was worth. Because we were carrying around a lot of hard currency. We're carrying around jewels. We're carrying around gems, because if we try to convert all this crap, we'd be buried under a mountain of gold, almost literally.
See, this is why it is always better to hunt other player character parties as opposed to going into the goblin players, because per capita turnover is so much better.
You just cast that no alignment before you actually decide.
That's it. My next game, I'm asking for a new magic item, Briefs of Holding. Actually pull something out of my butt if I need it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The tidy whities of holding.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm not that huge on making sure that every character I have has, where their encumbrance is. I just don't care that much.
I know Corey follows this to a certain extent. Is that correct?
Now, yes. Now I follow a little of it. In the beginning, there was a very funny Dragon magazine comic in the back of one of the Dragon magazines. It showed a halfling with a giant, and I mean literally giant backpack, and it was literally 6 foot over his head. And there's a clear stand there looking at him, and the halfling looks back and goes, encumbrance? I just figure if I ignore it, it goes away. That's how I used to do it. Until I looked over at a couple of my players' character sheets, and I'm like, why do you have 6 sheets attached with a staple and a binder to your character sheet? Oh, that's my treasure. What?
Where do you keep it?
Yeah, so I honestly, in the beginning, I let people make their character sheet, fill out their equipment list. I'll look it over. If it looks okay, if it looks nominal, I'll let it go as normal encumbrance. If they filled out all 3 columns in the equipment sheet and they're over onto another sheet, then we're going to talk about encumbrance and lowering some stuff. But I use it as a quick and fast guideline. I'm not following the rules by any means.
I never worry about encumbrance because too many of my players, and even in other games, they want to sell stuff too much.
Yeah.
We're a little encumbered. By the time we get to the town, we're going to have some more money.
Yeah, especially early in your career when you're salvaging those suits of armor from the opponents that you've slain and their weapons. If they're of good quality, you can sell them, get some extra coin.
My elf's been carrying around for 5 games a giant snake skin. He just got a nice pair of boots and a belt.
Yep, went to the leather worker, did he?
That's right. And the other guy who had the other snake skin, he's got a nice snakeskin scabbard for a sword. So
I did that with a bunch of drow scalps. Now I have this really awesome cloak.
Whoa! Yeah, hey, the elves would love you.
Especially
no, they wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Grondor Dwarf Fighter of the Orc Thrower clan, half ogre at your service.
Oh, yeah. Then there's that. Yeah.
But I'm thinking that any game out there, no matter what edition it is, you got to think about this at least once.
Yeah.
Even if you don't use it.
Yeah, I mean, if you raid that dragon's lair and you're successful, and the dragon is of a certain age category, yeah, you're going to worry about. Okay, you've got about. See, the funny part is that most of the players I have are pragmatic to the point of if there's a dragon's lair with a bunch of copper and silver and some gold and some platinum, they'll take the gold and platinum and leave the copper and silver there.
Yep.
And I'm like, I just look at them like, really? You're not going to go back to town and get a cart and just, drawn by a couple of horses and just load that thing up with what you've gotten. You're just going to leave it. And I'm like, yeah.
Yes, because we read that episode of Knights of the Dinner Table. I know what you're about to do to us.
Okay.
I do not know of what episode you speak for.
Especially if the treasure is a lot of non-money treasure. That's how you move around.
Silver platters, goblets, pieces of art, statuaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those are the more, and some of those can be the most of the most worth. But yeah.
I've had player characters go back and dismantle 4-poster beds.
Yeah.
And take them.
Yeah. Yup. I mean, it's not like back in the day with the cover, or with that one big picture in the first edition's DMG where you see the thief going up and taking the big gems out of the eyes of the demon idol. He
was only sneaky because the service was going on.
Exactly. That's true.
Normally you'd do that Hackmaster style, standing ankle deep in a bunch of dead lizards.
Hey, I've seen that happen too. On both sides of the fence.
This is true. You guys
or ankle deep in a bunch of dead party members.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, then there's that.
Any final words on this?
Use the encumbrance rule kind of with the sense of common sense approach. As long as you have it, as long as it's reasonable and you're not really you didn't take the dump stat of strength, okay? People do it. As long, if someone happens to do that, yeah, you're going to be a little bit more harshly judged. We generally kind of ballpark it unless you're starting to get egregious, or it's going to where a specific plot point turns into knowing really what you can carry and why. I know you can get away with a lot, and usually, eventually, most people end up with some means of bypassing the encumbrance because they've got the bags, they've got the pouches, they've got the boxes, something to make it easier to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, if that's like one of the first moderately powerful magic items I will give out, which would either be a bag of holding or a portable hull. Just so the party has their spare sets of armor, their spare weapons, extra rations, and things like that, so they can survive out in the wild. And get
in case those are Teamster porta potties aren't around.
Oh God!
Well, that's the portable. That's the portable hull.
Yep. No. You'd have to put an audiog at the bottom of it.
Why?
Oh,
It's audiugs and grills that keeps Corey happy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you just need a well-trained mimic who has a fetish.
Oh God!
On
that note,
tell us you want to talk encumbrance? You can talk encumbrance. THACOshammer@gmail.com. Let's go into Magic Fingers.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers. Okay, we got an interesting spell. It's called
Blaster.
That too. How do you pronounce this?
Agonazar's Scorcher.
Yeah, Agonazar's, Agonazar's, however you want to say it.
Which is its second level evocation spell, originally found in the Forgotten Realms Adventures hardback, and Full On will tell you where you can find it in the Wizard Spell Compendium.
You can find it in Volume 1 of the Wizard Spell Compendium on page 26, Evocation Fire Spell.
Range 20 yards, components VS, duration 2 rounds, casting time 3, and upon casting this spell, a jet of flame appears at the caster's fingertips and bursts out towards one target of the caster's choice. Basically, this
2 feet wide, 60 feet long.
Yes, and this is like Burning Hands on steroids.
This is flamethrower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flamethrower spell.
I want to make somebody on fire, but he's way over there.
And
whoosh! That looked good.
And there are 2 orcs in the way. Oh, or they are, you say.
No, they were.
They were.
And no saving throw.
No, well, kinda.
Unless you have like a ring of fire resistance, then you get to get half damage.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I'd say half or no.
Target doesn't get the saving throw unless they have fire resistance capabilities. Creatures in the path of the flame jet do get a saving throw to avoid 2d8 points of the fire damage.
And they only take 1d8.
2 to 16. Successful save reduces this 1 to 8.
Yeah, and that will still kill you. if
a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And the drawback about the spell is that the caster cannot perform any other actions during the second round of the spell. Otherwise there could be problems. It is almost like using an actual flamethrower.
Stand up, brace, put your hands out, and hold. Imagine you are the DF1, really, really small. This is what.
Oh my God! Stop.
Now, question.
What was that cannon called? I forgot. Anyway,
question to the house here. Shoot, I forgot. So we're talking about a huge flamethrower here. Is this subject to all the problems of, say, a fireball spell, like mass and area and all that good stuff?
Well, not really.
I would say no.
A 2 foot wide, 60 feet long. Anything caught in that gets set on fire.
Goes poof. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And of course, if they're in the
that, unlike the fireball, if you fired this at if you stood next to a wall like 6 feet away and fired it at the kobold cowering in the corner, it would just look like you were firing a blowtorch into the corner. It would have a little bit of splash radius around it, but it's not going to backwash and ricochet for 60 feet.
Yeah,
good.
Lightning.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a fireball. It's not a lightning bolt.
I still wouldn't want to do this in a tight corridor. So
no. I can. Or if there are other people in front of you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love this spell because it takes, it's sort of a good compromise between a fireball spell and a burning hand spell.
And if you just can't get that lightning bolt,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got a fire finger and a grease spell. I can cover the difference.
I have a wonderful image of this going into like a red dragon, and somehow you guys survived the initial blow of his breath, and the mage goes, "Oh yeah, I could do that too."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those wonderful little spells for the tactical mage who likes to flank the opposing line. Because then you just say, okay, I can go all the way up. Okay, there's a line of orcs that are fighting my friends. Okay, I'm going to go to the end of that line, and then I'm going to cast this spell on that orc at the far end.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing you give Full-On's character who's on the battlements on the platform right there behind you. And if you're smart enough to, like, if you know the troops are coming the night before, like they did in Braveheart, you seed the fields with like oil and stuff.
You pass out a few specially prepared arrows to the spell archers, stuff like that.
Okay, follow my lead.
That's why I was relieved when you decided you weren't going to be an invoker in my game full on. What indeed?
Wait till Corey comes in.
You're not fast enough with a map for me to be that tactically advantageous.
Oh, come on. Are we still on that, Jag? Come on, man.
That's all right.
Oh, I see
you can always use a spell like the guy in my group uses it. Mm-hmm. He turned it into a magic item.
Oh?
Yeah.
First
absolutely.
he got up to level 19. Then he decided he found a ring of regeneration, so he's cutting off his fingertips, attached them to an innocuous leather belt. Upon command word, it shoots out this spell from the belt from the dead finger attached to the belt as a retributive strike.
Are you kidding me?
He watched the movie Time Bandits, where the bad guy at the end starts spinning when he's pulling all the lassoed cowboys around. He goes, I want a belt that does that, but with fire. And he literally planned this, and he now has a magical item that casts this spell from the dead fingertips of his own from his belt.
I like that guy.
Oh, wow.
You know what I did? Remember the last Starfighter?
Yep. Yeah, Death Blossom.
I had a mage who had a spell. He'd float up in the air 5 feet and just start spinning all over with fire and energy shooting out of it.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Oh.
One of my favorite movies. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, this spell is this spell has a lot of combat utility. I mean, of course, you could do the Ripley thing and set fire. Oh God, that's right. I do have second edition aliens in my game. Yes. Yes, you can do the Ripley and just use an Aganisard Scorcher around the room and setting fire to all the eggs with the chest bursters in them.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, the face suckers.
Look, if you ever find one of my characters who's a dwarf in a cave with a box of scraps, this will come out. A mage and a dwarf with a box of scraps. Yes. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yikes.
It's a great way to shave.
In a cave.
Wow. Just, wow.
Yeah. Anyway. Great spell. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a great spell.
Yeah, you guys got some
Good
ideas
spell
on
to
it.
throw inside a ring of spell storing. Good spell to convert and put into some kind of neat little magic item. It's great for rings. It's great for gauntlets. Great for daggers. Great for swords. Great for headbands.
Great for trolls.
Yes, good for trolls.
Great for magic bows.
Magic bow. Don't give Korea any more. Please.
He's already got his gimmick. Don't worry about him.
Okay, fine. Full On doesn't, but he doesn't need one. He's got like 10 of them.
Full On is a walking gimmick. Are you kidding me?
It's a D&D arsenal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm very happy that he decided to take a straight fighter in my game. I couldn't be happier about it.
So if you want to give Full On some more suggestions, THACOshammer@gmail.com.
Like he needs anymore.
Or the phone number, 405-806-0555.
Thank you, Mr. Corey.
And always post to the forums at OSR Gaming or at D20 Radio.
Strode Citadel, Planet A, D&D, Circus Maximus, Nutkin Land. We're all over the place.
Yep. Facebook, Twitter, we be all over the internets, baby.
You just Google like there's no tomorrow for us.
Yep, Google like you mean it.
Yeah, that's right.
We're like your girlfriend on Facebook. We've been everywhere with everyone.
Ouch.
Wow.
Now we're getting out of Dodge.
Yeah, after that.
This is it. This is what? If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
Getting out of Dodge.
Getting out of Dodge. Okay, the main pain, Myth Drenor box set. I box set it one time, lost it in a move before I even got a chance to look through it.
That's pretty tragic, actually.
Yeah.
This came out when?
This came out in 1993. Stock number 1402, I believe. Let me double check that.
You are correct, sir.
Thank you.
Retail
$20, I think. It's either 20 or 25.
Nice at 20.
And
my box set shows $24. Oh, that's Canadian. $20 US.
$20 US, yes.
So, reasonable
price.
That's a steal. That's a steal. That's a steal.
Mm-hmm.
And inside you find out all about the lost city of Myth Drenor, the elven city that they abandoned.
Yes. because if I remember right, without actually reading the book, one elven clan decided to screw around with the Hells.
Gates are useful things, man. It's all okay. We can control them.
From
sure.
From the little I saw on PDF and online since then, it makes Night Below look like a walk in the park.
Have you ever played Doom 3? Okay. Do it with trees and a sky. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you got all kinds of nasty monsters floating around in this place. There's a reason why there's an adventuring company called the Knights of Myth Drenor, and they guard the place from people trying to get into it. Because
you're not ready to go in here yet, son. No. You should not be playing with it. Something might get out just because you tried to get in. No.
Exactly. They've got this treant standing there. You must be this tall to get in.
Your level must be this high in order to ride this ride.
Exactly. Yeah, but
kids.
The whole thing is that this was one. They say this city was so old that no one really knows just how old it is. No one knows its beginning.
It's the elf Waterdeep, and they broke it.
Yeah. Yep. And it was the Starim clan of elves who were so powerful and so proud that the other elven families didn't like what they were doing, and they basically just said, "You want to know what? Screw you guys, we're going home." And they decided to start screwing around with magic they couldn't control, and the next thing you know, bad things started happening.
When people start asking about 10th level spells, all you have to do is point at Miss Dranner and say, "That's what happens."
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Now, getting back to the box set, what do we have in this box set, Johnny?
Okay, we've got Mr. Nor Adventures, which has several adventures for the setting. Right. You have the campaign guide, which is what I'm reading out of.
Right.
You've got these cards, which have layers in them, which are
my favorite. Yes,
exactly. Got wonderful little adventures in them. You got the Mythal Magic Table. We haven't even gotten that yet. The Mythal is the entire thing that makes Mr. Nor what it is. Right. And then...
Isn't there a few... go ahead.
I was about to say, yes. Yeah, I was getting there. Then you have maps. And I'm not talking maps. I mean maps. Once again, poster-sized maps.
Big poster.
Yes, big.
Clear off a portion of your wall posters.
Yes.
You will not put this on a table. You need to clear floor space.
Yes. Yeah, there's no, unless you've got a table, the size of what they use at the Pentagon at one of their major league conferences. No. Yeah, exactly. Because I've got one of the maps open right now, which is like the southwestern part of the city, and yeah, this is pretty damn big.
It's not that big, man. That's like the suburbs. They're pretty cool.
Didn't they have
suburbs?
Didn't they throw a few monstrous compendium sheets in there too?
I believe they did. I'm going through my stuff right now and trying to dig stuff out.
In fact, they have the Baelnorn in here. They have the Aratha.
Dragon.
Blazing Bones.
Yep.
Blazing Bones, yes.
They have the Doom Sphere, which is a ghost beholder. They have the Electrum Dragon. They have the Fang Dragon.
But nobody ever fights the Electrum Dragon because nobody ever wants Electrum.
Electrum Dragon can actually be a really good ally. I know.
Yeah, don't screw it. If you happen to be in Myth Dranner and you end up in the the Electrum Dragon encounter, don't screw that encounter up, i.e. make yourself into a fight with that. It's probably you're going to need that friend to get out alive.
Yes. Yeah, big time. And the reason why people are trying to get into Myth Dranner so much is because of all of the fabled magic items.
Goodies.
Yes, there are some there. I've walked away with some of those. They're awesome.
So have I.
And it's worth it. Look at it this way: it is totally worth having a Fang Dragon jump on you 3 times.
True. Yes, it is.
Then go look at those stats and see what it takes to do that.
Yeah,
and live.
Yeah, I mean they even have, which is one of the little things you can do in here. I think it's one of the adventures where one of the minor deities of Toril, you can actually revive him. If I remember correctly, Shondakel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's in here. You've got an avatar of a god in here. Now, of course, this runs against all of us defending Forgotten Realms being high powered and high magic, but you know what?
You're supposed to be to go here.
Yeah. My whole thing is that, you know what? He is a plot device. It doesn't hurt to have a lesser power in your debt for helping him.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, not even close.
Then you can have everything he does be blamed on you for letting him loose on the world.
This is true.
So what kind of things will you? I mean, why send the PCs in? For what reason? I'm sure they got adventures in there.
Oh yeah.
Let's say you're doing a magic components gathering quest for Mage X in Tower Y, and he wants something from this type of demon or this type of devil. Yeah, you can go here to get it. He wants something from a hordling. You can go here and get it.
Yes. I mean,
the shopping list of body parts.
And of course, there's always one thing that the mage needs that only grows in Myth Dranner.
Yep.
Or got left in a basement somewhere.
Or somebody's poisoned and they need this one thing to make an antidote or so. That way you get a time limit thing there going.
Yeah. The queen's daughter is unconscious from a poison. You can only get the antidote in Mithranor. Good luck.
Yeah. Or you can just throw out a couple of rumors about a particular sword that your fighter or your paladin might want. And you can just create a little adventure, and it's like, it's in this abandoned elven city over near the Dales. Oh, wait a minute, isn't that Mithranor? Yes, it is, my son.
I think it's.
Are you sure you want it?
And then, or you could just grab an adventure out of the adventures book.
Yes. Yeah, easily.
I'm sure there's short ones, long ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got like one long one and like 2 or 3 short ones in there. But
some of them are even survivable.
What?
I said some of them are even survivable.
Yes. Believe it or not. I mean, I played in Mithranor in the Forgotten Realms game I keep talking about. I mean, we went from A to B to C. We were in Mithranor. We went to Waterdeep. We did a whole bunch of stuff. But the whole thing is that we really had to mind our P's and Q's when we were in Mithranor because we were only averaging, I think, about 6th level. And it said, we were really careful. We listened when the Knights of Mithranor would tell us, don't go over there. Just don't do it. You won't survive.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, the Knights of Mithranor say, don't go in here, period.
Yeah. Well, I don't even remember how we conned our way in there.
Got it.
But we got it somehow.
It's the realms. You can always have a gate mishap just dump you in the middle of Mithranor, and your only quest is get the hell out.
Yeah. And you want to know what? That's exactly where the party will end up if they do my Mystara Forgotten Realms crossover.
Where do they come from?
They're going to find themselves in Mithranor, and then they're going to have to get out. And they won't know where they are because who has knowledge of Forgotten Realms lore?
And that's so much better than playing Ravenloft with the same plot twist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gate opens up in Mithranor. These adventurers come tumbling out. They're all blinking because it's so bright. It's like, this doesn't look like the rest of Undermountain.
Yeah. Yeah, there are gates that link to Undermountain from Mithranor. Yes,
and vice versa.
Yes,
you can turn the wrong corner and things will happen.
Yes,
use the right corner and try to use it as a highway. I've been on both those quests.
Dude, just 2 days ago we were climbing down that freaking rope in the yawning portal in Waterdeep. What the hell happened here?
You're outside, and you don't know where you are. You have no idea where you're at. Oh,
I know where I'm at now.
I cast my fly spell. I want to get up. I want to give up above the trees and see where we are. Okay, but then of course you see this bone devil coming at you. What do you do?
Ow!
Yeah, because there are a lot of Batezu wandering around in Mithranor, which is why it's so dangerous. And never mind the Faerun, which is a whole other level of dangerous.
So what is
that? Was another quest I did in there. Yeah.
Tell me what's the Faerun?
A giant 8-foot-long space herpy.
Space herpy.
You remember the death machine in Star Trek that tried to eat the Enterprise? Looked like a big cornucopia.
Yes.
Make them small, give them arms, give them magic, and make them pissed at everything.
Give it the mouth from the leech guy. Give it the mouth from the leech guy from X-Files.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
This is why, like I asked if there was any more monstrous compendium in there. Probably got them too.
Yeah. They've got stats for the Faerun in there, and of course you can
chromatic orb, but they like chromatic spheres.
Yeah, you think chromatic orbs are bad? Yeah. But at the same time, you could also just as a means of, if your characters are really high level, say about 15th or so, and they're bored, and they get this request to restore the Draenor. That means you take on the Faerun, you take them out, you
take on the demons.
Yes, you clear that place out. Oh, are you so bored now? Oh no, I'm just gonna manage my castle now. I'm gonna go get one of my servants pregnant, and I'm gonna raise my kids. I'm gonna
hobble with my one remaining leg and cover the patch with my one remaining eye, and I'm gonna retire. I'll see you later. I'm a merchant now.
Exactly. Now, yeah, that's the thing about Mr. North. Now, somebody, I forget who, but someone I was talking to about Mr. North and basically kind of poo-pooed it, and basically he said that Mr. Nor was kind of an above-ground version of Undermountain, and to some extent I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I mean, not like to the extent he was, but...
It just doesn't have the benefit of Hallister managing it.
or a lot of it being stocked up as much as it was.
Could be worse. I mean, it's probably connected to Night Below too, so
Yeah. Oh, it can be.
Or Dragon Mountain. If you got a portal, you're standing in Mr. Door waiting for all them kobolds to come out on the other side. Just chop, 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 chop.
Yeah, that's one way to deal with them.
Yeah.
You want to know how to make the next Mage Fair a really spectacular event? Book it there.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, that now you see
at the pool in Quad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what? All the only two mages that show up are looking around, going, "Where the hell's everybody at?" They didn't make it in.
Oh no! Better thing would be This is what you call retreat to a safe distance, right, Falon? You basically get about 10 miles away and a nice high rise, and you watch the fireworks. because you're going to have, 20th plus level mages up against, several Faerun and several demons and whatever else is in there you want to throw in. Right. I mean, to me, it's one of those places where there's plenty to do there, just established in the box set, but how one of our listeners who I had a nice little debate over Twitter about Undermountain for the exact same reason. That's the strength of it, because it gives you, this is the guideline you have to where you can create your own adventures within Mythranor.
Right.
You can put whatever MacGuffin in there, whatever carrot you want to put in front of the party's nose that they want really, really, really bad, and you can say, okay, it's in there. Go find it.
Go get it.
Go get it, Fido, because you're going to be in there for a while.
And just remember, much like Undermountain, Mythranor falls into the category of the only reason you want to go there is for a reason. Yeah. If you have parties that start dropping into the mode of they want to go there to farm, you need to change your play style and find something else for them to do.
They're the ones who will get farmed if you play it normally.
Okay.
Speaking of that,
nope, didn't.
What? Speaking of what?
I said I was here as a player. Never mind.
Exactly. Never mind.
Oh, we don't.
I want to go to Flan now. Yeah. Well, anyway, and as a matter of fact, that's one of these.
This box, I think they had a pretty decent run on this box. So it's out there.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, there's tons of them.
Haven't seen it.
Probably get it for list.
Haven't seen it half price, but I know it's out there. I've seen it on eBay.
It's on eBay right now.
Amazon Marketplace for a decent price, if you can get it, like any other box set, if you can get it complete.
Yeah, with all the maps, and sometimes the benefit is to have the DM's notes.
You know what's the best value as far as I'm concerned, as far as I've found, as far as like getting things like this box set? Mm-hmm. If you go to mostly half price books, but there's other places where you can get the whole thing minus the box.
Yeah.
If you
you'll find those. Yes.
Yeah, those boxes for those didn't necessarily have the most survivability.
And they're flimsy. I've had the box set I have, which is in my hot little hands right now, one corner is ripped open.
But it's
Yeah, to attest to that statement real quick, you can ask the guys, before Full On came on, I was sitting here taping my box because it was all
he was taping it up.
Yep. But I'm saying, like, I got the Dawn of the Emperors box set without the box. I got the silver Forgotten Realms 2nd edition box set. I gave it away for Christmas present. Everything, maps, everything was in there, all wrapped up in plastic, no box, but it was complete. And you can get it for like $10.
I had
Need the box, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I had the box for Dawn of the Emperors, and it didn't survive.
Right.
It lasted maybe a year before it was falling apart to the point where I couldn't tape it up anymore, so I threw it out. I still have the maps. I still have all the books. It's all good.
That's my little buyer's guide, Glenn's buyer's guide tip about stuff like box sets.
Yeah, don't worry about the box. Make sure you have everything.
Be pretty on the shelf and fine. Go for the box, but if you don't want to use it, don't worry about it. You know, it'll be protected. You can wrap it up in plastic real nice.
Yep.
Anyway, that's Mythdrome box set, THACOshammer@gmail.com. I know you guys have used it. I want to hear some Mythdrome stories. Those sound
Yeah, I'd love to hear some.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, we closing another Splat book, guys.
The first Splat book of 2013.
That's right.
And not the last.
Yes, and I'm going to ignore the 13 part.
And we didn't even have to call for a trauma team.
Yeah.
Glenn, are you triskaidekaphobic?
I am superstitious.
No, okay. I'm not Jewish.
Afraid of number 13.
So that's why you didn't want to do this show yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's time to go. Say goodbye, Brian.
Say goodbye, Brian.
Bye. I'll see y'all next time.
Full On. Say goodbye, Brian, for No. Say goodbye.
Gamer Nation, welcome to 2013. It is still THACO's Hammer bringing it to you. It's on.
You ever get the feeling he's going to explode one of these days after he does this?
That might benefit his wife, but anyway.
Corey, say goodbye, please.
God, I can't believe I said that.
Look out for those belts at Walmart, those Agonazar Scorchers.
Yeah. He'll be making them in bulk. And
that's right.
That's right. I'm GM Glenn saying I'll see you next time when the hammer comes down in 2013 on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, God, now I'm dying to go to Mythdrome.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at THACOshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at THACOshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the 2nd edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.